So, who is gonna return for season 2 of the Cobra Kai? Is it Ali? John Kreese? Mike Barnes? Let's find out. Okay, so I think, and this is like big spoiler alert, like if you haven't seen season 1, stop watching like immediately. Like if you've just watched the first 2 seasons, like you can't watch the rest of this episode. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to leave and come back when you've watched the season 1 because I don't want to ruin anything. Okay? Okay, bye-bye. Okay, if you're sticking around, you've agreed to that, you already seen it. So first of all, my name is Ben Gemfield. Hope you're having a smashing day. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. And for the rest of you, thank you for joining me once again. So today we're going to talk about different characters from Karate Kid 1, 2, and 3, who will return, who we want to return, who are confirmed to return, and my personal thoughts on the whole thing. But as usual, I want you to, put in a comment below what you think, who you want to come back the most. So without further ado, let's get started. The person who will return, because he was in the final shot of season 1, is John Kreese. He was there smoking a cigar, talking about the return of Cobra Kai, and there was a little bit of cringe apart from my side, I felt, but the more interesting part about that was, Johnny's reaction. I thought it was something interesting about it. So we'll see, but it makes sense. Like if you saw him in the last shot, he's probably back for season 2. That's given, and it just so made sense that he would be back because he was so popular as one of the worst bad guys. I mean it in a positive sense, in an 80s movie. So obviously he would be back, right? Characters who are not gonna show up most likely is Jill Pierce. And yes, this is the only character that I mentioned from Karate Kid 4, which I personally don't acknowledge, but I have to sort of mention it anyway. Some people do enjoy Karate Kid 4, I guess. The reason is because Jill Pierce was played by Hilary Swank, and Swank, she's kind of a more serious actor, and I've never seen her in a real comedy or series type of thing. I just, with so many Oscars and nominations, I just seriously doubt that she would do something like this. Not that I think of anything low of Cobra Kai, but this is a more of a teenage kind of a thing. Again, I don't want to offend anyone. Like, guys, I'm 35. I'm not saying that, only teenagers watch this, but let's face it, the real heroes of this story, it's gonna be the kids. Like Daniel and Johnny Lawrence, they're kind of like the coaches. Let's face it. Again, I could be wrong on that. But my point is, Jill Pierce, the character, I just don't see her coming back. It would be kind of fun to see these 2 students of Miyagi meeting and saying hello. Oh, you were taught by him too, kind of a scene. But there just wouldn't be any point to it. Like, Jill had her own problems, and oh boy, did that movie have a lot of problems. But thankfully, I don't think that Hilary Swank will come back. It's sort of beneath her. Most likely to return is Mike Barnes. Like, I saw an interview with the actor who played Mike Barnes. He was super excited, and the way he spoke about it, it really felt that he was gonna show up in season 2, like, no doubt. And just reading the comments on my Cobra Kai videos, it just seems that Mike Barnes is so hugely popular, like there is no way that they're not gonna include Mike Barnes one way or the other. There is even the theory that Mike Barnes is the father of Miguel, which I don't believe, but hey, anything's possible. And then there is Ali, played by Elizabeth Shue. Now, I've mentioned this before, I think that Elizabeth Shue, she also feels that this is sort of beneath her and she wouldn't do this, but she could have her arm twisted for at least a cameo or something. It just I read this interview with one of the creators, and she did have this like Helen of Troy kind of thing. She's like the center of the dilemma between Daniel and Johnny. So she has a huge part in the story, whether she likes to or not. The only question is, will she be a part of this continuation? And I think that she will be back. Like, yeah, if nothing else, it's gonna be a cameo, at least. Just a short scene where she just comes by and says, oh yeah, hi guys. Yeah, I was never really into any of you. Like, I was just in it for the fame. See ya later. Like, yeah, it's probably be more tasteful in that. No, I think that she could probably come back to retrieve her honor, because they did sort of, you know, sit at the bar, Daniel and Johnny, and talk trash about her. Maybe this was done on purpose by the creators to sort of make Elizabeth Shue want to come back to the role to reclaim the honor of Ali. Who knows? Like, we'll see. Unconfirmed two characters that I believe would be very interesting to see would be Terry Silver and Chosen. Now, Terry Silver, I don't think he will be back, unfortunately. I know that there are a lot of people who want him to come back and a lot of people who don't want him to come back. I think that the problem is that the actor who's playing Terry Silver, he's mentioned it in a couple of interviews that he's just retired. You know, he's just not going to do this. And I've seen this in a couple of interviews, actually, and it just doesn't feel like he's going to return to do this unless it becomes like a huge hit. So, you know, I'm hoping that he'll be back. I don't think he will. And then there is Chosen, and I really would like to see him. That would be kind of cool to see him come back. If they can sort of fit it into the storyline. You gotta remember, the guy is from Okinawa. Perhaps he went to El Salvador and met a certain lady and had a son who was called Miguel. It's possible. It's possible. I don't see it happening, but you know, anything's possible. Now, there are three characters that I really want to see more than any of the characters that I've mentioned to this part in this episode, and that's Johnny's buddies. Like, where are they? Like, he did mention them a couple of times. I'm talking about Tommy, Bobby, and Dutch. I would like to see those guys back again. To me, I remember when I've seen the first original so many times that, you know, Tommy, Bobby, and Dutch, like, I know them, their faces so intimately. Like, I could like see them from a mile away. Like, that's how etched it is into my mind. But so I really hope that they make it, because they just made such a huge impact on the story in the first movie. I think so anyway. Like, they were just goons, but somehow they were a big part of the story. You know what I mean? Like, they actually had names. Most of the time when you have like a bad guy and you know, goons to the bad guy, you don't really know who the goons are. They're just goons, you know, friends of bad guy. But here we actually have characters, Tommy, Bobby, and Dutch, and they were kind of different. Like Dutch was sort of like Hawk, and wouldn't it be cool if it turns out that Dutch is actually Hawk's father? Who knows? I think that would be really cool. And Tommy and Bobby, like, Bobby was sort of, he did have a kind of a conscience, I felt. And Tommy, he was sort of a psychopath, I felt. Just my personal feeling about the guy. You know, you only saw him for like 5 minutes in the movie, but technically speaking, we did see at least Tommy and Bobby in the beginning of the first scene in Karate Kid 2, and there was this headshot of Dutch, but I'm like 100% certain that it wasn't actually Chad McQueen who was in it. But I really like to see those three guys again, the three amigos, or technically it would be the four amigos. But I think that the problem there is how you're going to turn them into a story like that. Are they supposed to also be senseis at Cobra Kai, or start their own dojos, or you know, I don't know how you could incorporate that, but you know, who knows? Who knows? Anything's possible. So that was it. Like, did I miss anyone? Do you think, who would you like to see mostly to return? Like, which is your favorite character of the 3, or technically 4 movies, who you'd like to see return to the series? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll reply as soon as I can. I'll catch you later. Take care. Okay, that was it. Hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, see that like button, smash it. And I got some freakishly awesome videos coming up. Better subscribe so you don't miss a beat. I'll see you later. Peace.